inspiration when you were young?
I think that's a hard question because, like I said, I didn't grow up with people really asking me about my hopes and dreams. So I think it was hard for me to imagine because we also come from a community that didn't have a lot of women who had done a lot of different things, right? So while I could see, obviously other people or other people who were really incredible role models, I didn't have that. I think my dream was really just that I could decide for myself, right? I was like, I wish people would stop telling me what to do and just let me pick, right? So I didn't have that kind of dream like other people had, like having a role model and saying, oh, I want to be like her. I always, I think, really respected my mom because I think pretty early on I learned her story, and that really maybe inspired me to say, you know, she didn't have a lot of choices, right? And now all I was experienced was not a lot of choices, but a lot of people defining what they thought I was capable of. And so my one wish was, man, I wish people would just let me decide.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have a question for her?
We could transition to some of the organizations that you've been involved with,
Yeah.
right? And so I think some people already saw the Red Green video that was done by NBC Asian America.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you could share how did you, Kailin and Gajo, how did you guys start that social enterprise, and also how do you help the artists in the other countries to make a living, right? To have income. So I say, if you could share that with the audience.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my life's work, unpaid, is really my passion for improving the conditions for women and girls. Because I just know that when women and girls are doing better, our families and our communities will do better, right? And all kinds of data show that women spend the majority of their money on their families. When they get educated, they work on issues that are tough in the community. It's not just about their own leadership. So, given my own personal life and experiences, I spend a lot of my time thinking about that. And so Red Green Rivers really birthed out of Gayin Gajua and I talking about how we were going to help improve the economic situations of our sisters overseas, because we were seeing a trend of older adults in the country who are engaging in inappropriate relationships with our young people overseas, right? And it doesn't matter that something might be culturally acceptable. It's just wrong when we block the potential of young people, right? And a lot of those relationships involve girls, right? And Gaying worked in Laos, and she'd been living in Laos and helped started Ilukumho'i for Video Laos. And it was really an organization to help our young women get education and just practical employable skills. But what we heard from the young women was, well, you guys are helping those who are in college, but what about us, right? What about those of us who got married and right? So we just said, well, what do you know how to do, right? And many of them were still skillful in terms of handicrafts, and so we started to create products with them. And Gaying was in Thailand, so she shipped it to Gajua and I, and we sold it that first year, and we sold all of it, and we're like, oh, this is awesome, right? And because we worked directly with the artisans, all the profits went back to them, because we were still able to get some grants to support the materials and things like that. So, what we learned is that unless we care about what women overseas care about, it doesn't matter what we really think about gender equity, because for them it's about, can I put food on the table tonight, right? Can I pay a medical bill if my family member is sick, or just very practical things that are very basic. And so we just decided that this was a viable idea, and we were going to start a small business. with the sole purpose of working with artisans who are women and girl artisans who are skilled at what we consider indigenous crafts, right? Indigenous art forms, what Jialan Dao or Dao Nia, or things that are passed down from generation to generation that now a lot of young people don't know how to do, right? I don't know how to do that, and I really love those things, but I don't know how to do it, right? And if we don't preserve it, it will be lost, right? But also, we, over the decades, have not valued it. So, for example, there was a year where everybody bought scarves in Walmart, right? Because they had the Hmong print. Without really thinking that those scarves were not having any benefit to Hmong people, right? Because they were just mass-produced in a factory in China, and the only people benefiting were the factory owners, right? Or and not really our people, and it wasn't even called Hmong, but you're like, it's from China. It has to be Hmong because Hmong people are such a big ethnic group there, right? But there was no credit to just even our art form, right? So for us, that business was really focused on how do we directly improve the lives of these gifted women, but also how do we pick artisans who are skilled at the kinds of craft that we want to preserve. Right? So that's what Red Green Rivers is. We really provide access to the market for them. We do the retail side of the work for them, and we work directly with artisans so that there's no middleman, so that they can make a living. And we just see how their lives are improved when they have economic choices.
That's really awesome. I wear their products.
Yes.
And I
We
want
happen to have the
proudly